Pacific was quiet, but the calm was only a brief reprieve. After driving the last Japanese task force from Tarawa, the Allies seized the moment to prepare for the next phase of the Pacific War. For 7 long days, the transports of Task Forces Victor, Zebra, and X-Ray moved like shadows across the vast ocean, shuttling troops, supplies, and steel to strengthen the footholds of Guadalcanal and Tarawa. By the morning of May 30th, Task Force 10, now reinforced with the battleship North Carolina and an Australian heavy cruiser, arrived in the Tarawa area, swelling Allied strength while guarding the flow of reinforcements. Vital parts and supplies surged steadily into the embattled islands. Guadalcanal, once a tenuous outpost, now bristled with nearly 4,000 troops and enough supplies to fuel the war machine's next push. The calm was over. The Allies would strike Shortland, and from there, the road to Rabaul would begin. Hello, welcome back to War on the Sea. It is June 1st, 1942. It has been 7 days since the last episode. A lot has happened in that time, and I went over briefly some of that in the intro, but I will go over in detail here. We have Task Force 1 and 2 still stationed near Tarawa, and as you can see here, we have Task Force 10, which includes some new additions, specifically the battleship North Carolina. And we have, again, 4 New Orleans-class cruisers and an Australian heavy cruiser, the Australia. The reason I chose this one is because it has anti-sub capabilities. We're going to get another one of these to go along with this task force and then fill it out with a few more ships. Not sure what yet, but I decided to make the task force operational. I brought it out to Tarawa just to have over here, just in case the Japanese bring another gun fleet over, then we'll respond in kind. Again, we'll be adding to this as we go. Here is what's happening down in the Solomons. We have Task Force 3 with Yorktown coming in close to Guadalcanal. Task Force Fox has a bunch of fuel, and Task Force Zebra has more engineering and troops. And as soon as we land on Guadalcanal, we're going to take what we have, consolidate, just get as much as we can in Zebra, and we're going to head off and take Shortland Islands. Here's what's happening near Midway and Wake. As you can see, we do have some new contacts near Wake, specifically search aircraft. So I'm thinking there may be a task force near here, which is concerning because we have X-Ray headed to Wake Island. And the reason we're doing that is because one of these C3s is empty, and I want to pick up the some of the supplies here, about 1,600 supplies in Wake Island. And then afterwards, X-Ray is going to head off to Tarawa. We'll see what's going on. I'm going to launch some more aircraft here to try and find that task force before X-Ray gets a little closer. Midway Island, the supplies are, well, there aren't any, really. I've taken almost everything that I could possibly get, and this is the last of it. Task Force 14 with the last of the fuel. Task Force Victor with a bunch of engineering supplies. The rest of it all heading to Tarawa for operations in the Solomon Islands. I'm going to launch again. I'm going to launch some more aircraft from Wake, probably Catalina's, and we're going to go see if we can find out what the heck's, if there's a task force down here, which it seems like there is. Okay, I think the alarm can be called off. I was following the scout plane with the Wildcat here to see where it went back, and it disappeared right over this task force here, where it says it might have 2 subs. I'm going to go take a look and see what this task force is. Let's go tactical here. It looks like it's headed towards Wake. I don't see anything so far. Maybe it is just a sub. All right, Fox and Zebra are arriving at Guadalcanal. Let's unload. Well, let's get them both there real quick. It is almost midnight. All right, looks like we got everything from Fox as well. Let's take a look at Guadalcanal. 8,200 troops, 10,000 supplies, 351 engineering, 400 fuel. I did mention that I was going to increase the airfield at Guadalcanal, and I do plan on doing that, but honestly, I want to take these troops and supplies and go take Shortland Islands right away. We do have more on the way, more supplies and material on the way, so let's go ahead and get started here. We're probably going to... Well, we have Zebra down here. We have plenty... I think we have plenty of troops and supplies to get it done. And I'd like to go ahead and start making a push on Shortland now. So let's go ahead and... Let's get... we'll get Fox. We'll have them leave the area. And then let's load up Zebra. We're probably going to do the usual. This is going to be my standard amphibious fleet, probably. I might add, later on in the war, add some more C3s here, but 4,000 troops sounds about right. We'll take 4,000 troops and as many supplies as we can carry. Looks like it's going to be 6,000 supplies or so, a little over that. That leaves us with 3,900 troops, 3,400 supplies on Guadalcanal. So let's get Zebra. How long is it going to take for Zebra to get there? 17 hours? Sounds about right. We'll go ahead and start. We want them... Well, let's get them... Let's have them approach... Get close to Shortland's detection range, and then we'll calculate when we can get there overnight. X-Ray has finally arrived at Wake without incident. I know there's a sub out here somewhere. I do have Whipple to help, but we're just going to load up with... Get those supplies that are here that we need. There we go. We're going to leave Wake with 894 troops, 1,500 supplies, a decent amount of engineering and fuel, and then the X-Ray. Let's see. We'll just do what we normally do. Kind of stay away from Japanese-held islands and make our way down to Terwa like so. Almost 5 p.m. now, June 2nd, and we're starting to make our push towards Shortland. We have Task Force 3 in the lead. I'm sure as soon as we cross this here, we're going to be getting attacked by Japanese land-based bombers. Zebra's going to hold back a little bit. Again, we're going to let Task Force 3 go in. There we go. We knew that was going to happen. Let's launch some aircraft. Don't know how many they have here, but let's go ahead and get ready. Yorktown. I'm going to probably launch half the fighters, and then we're going to use Dauntless to supplement as well. And 15 Dauntless, I think that'll be enough. So let's go ahead and begin. See what we got here. Come on, show yourselves. Okay, looks like... Ooh. Some Japanese fighter bombers. Okay, let's have, actually, I need to get the Dauntless involved as well, so I'm going to have them target and attack some of these. Looks like we got them all. Even the Dauntlesses caught a few of them. Let's look at the report. I think we lost a few also. I saw a few Wildcats go down. Yep. 2 Wildcats lost. 15 bombers lost. Let's go ahead and leave. That was a large bomber force that came in. So there will be more. So we'll keep chugging along. We'll probably leave Zebra here for a little bit and have Task Force 3 move a little closer. Let's have the Dauntless. Let's have them all hang out at Task Force 3 as they continue their progress. 5:44 now, and we have a next encounter. These look like torpedo bombers, and they're going after Task Force Zebra. We do have our Wildcats and Dauntless up. We're probably going to have them head back to Zebra real quick. Let's go ahead and just begin this encounter and see. I'm going to pause real quick and see where my fighters are. Okay, let's bring them back. I'm sure they're going to pop up over here. All right, what do we have? Oh, yep, here they are. Let's go get them. Alright, we didn't even need the Dauntless. The Wildcats took care of all 9 bombers. It looks like we're going to be fine. Let's leave. And of course, you know there's going to be another wave, probably. 9 bombers down, 31 aircraft. We didn't lose anything. No hits, nothing. We'll continue towards Shortland. Almost 8:30 now, same day. And it looks like this is going to be, hopefully, the last wave. More Japanese bombers coming in. This time, it looks like well, it's almost dark. I think I'm going to launch because we do have several Wildcats that are probably damaged. Didn't look like we've lost any Dauntless. I'm going to go ahead and launch the rest of the Wildcats just to be safe, and they should be able to cover us for the rest of the for the rest of the day until nightfall. Let's go ahead and launch them up. There we go. And it looked like these bombers might be a little closer to Task Force 3 than my Combat Air Patrol, but let's find out. Let's go ahead and begin. Start. I'm going to pause real quick and see where my other fighters... Oh, they're not... That's not bad. I have a group of fighters here. Let's turn the Wildcats around. I'm going to bring them back over towards... Well, put them on this side over here of the task force. Get the Dauntless up there too. Okay, I think we're ready to go. Let's see what we have here. Where are the bombers? Okay, well, there's a ton of them. It looks like they are... How many of them are there? There are 36 bombers coming into our 50 aircraft. Bettys, Nells, and other assorted land-based bombers. Looks like the torpedo bombers are in the back, and the regular bombers are up front. I'll have the Dauntless go after the Nells, while the Wildcats tangle with their level bombers. Well, that was one heck of a battle. There was lots of bombers, as you saw. We lost, I think, 3 aircraft. I think. Let's take a look. Yep, 3. And all the bombers, incoming bombers, shot down. That's going to be it for the day. I'm sure of it. Let's retreat. And we'll continue heading towards Guadalcanal, but I don't really expect to see much of anything else. Alright, just as it's turning midnight, Zebra arrived at Shortland Island. And let's unload everything. Let's see what we got to deal with on Shortland Island. Looks a lot like Guadalcanal when we first landed. Maybe they might have a little bit more troops here, but we're in control. We need to get Zebra out of here as quickly as possible. Head on back to Tarawa, pick up supplies, and I'm sorry, Guadalcanal. I'm so used to going to Tarawa. Guadalcanal's just right here. We have plenty of supplies here and troops. Not plenty, but we have enough to go after Shortland and continue going after Shortland until we take it. And let's see what we have up here. Tarawa still has 10,000 supplies, so we're doing just fine. Here's Victor right here. They've just arrived in the Tarawa area, so we'll probably dump these engineering and supplies, bring more supplies. And then, of course, we have 2 more fuel ships coming, and I think on June 4th, we get our command points again. And here's X-Ray. Looks like we made it past whatever was over here and headed down to Tarawa. Next morning, I'm gonna do an extensive search of this area and see if we can find a task force there. Okay, one more time. It's 5:30, June 3rd. More aircraft coming in. They're going after Task Force 3, even though it looks like they're right above Zebra. That's fine. Yorktown will launch aircraft to meet the incoming planes. 24, we might as well go ahead and launch them all because, well, as many as we can. Don't know what they got here. Probably not much, but better to be safe than sorry. Let's go ahead and begin. And we're right over... We're right over... Okay, great. We're right over Zebra. Oh, no. We're over Yorktown, Task Force 2. Sorry. They were going after Task Force 2. Okay. Alright. 2 land-based bombers. What are these again? KI-45. Toryu. Bombers. And we have some others back here. Some more Mavis. Okay. So it looks like a total of just 6 aircraft. Alright, I think that's it. Let's check the report. There were a few outstanding. I think those were the 2. Yep, we got all 6 of them. Didn't lose any. Wildcats are climbing back up to altitude to provide cap. Let's leave. And that should be it from the Guadalcanal area as we leave. Zebra is almost out. Task Force 3 is running cover. We'll see how it goes from here. Well, it looks like we have one more. Task Force 3 again is being attacked by Japanese land-based bombers. Let's go ahead and begin. And there can't be much here, really. What do we have? 6 more aircraft. Okay, looks like more of these, and a couple of Bettys, some Nells. Shouldn't take long. All right, once again, we have shrugged off the bombers coming in from Shortland and likely Rabaul. I think we're done here. Yep, 14 bombers gone. We didn't lose anything again. So let's retreat. And that has probably, more than likely, the last we see of them. We'll head back to Guadalcanal. Let's see, Zebra, since they're out of the area now, let's have them go to Guadalcanal. And probably Task Force 3 as well. Looks like Task Force Victor has arrived. Let's dump everything. Okay, that looks good. Now, Tarawa has almost 10,000 troops, almost 14,000 supplies, tons of fuel and ammo. Let's go ahead. Well, let's see. We have, I'm just going to do a little quick. See, Guadalcanal probably need maybe all of those supplies for Shortland. So I'm going to need at least 3,000 to 4,000 supplies for Guadalcanal. But I don't want to upgrade the airfield here yet. Because again, we need these supplies. Yeah, let's just wait until we get more supplies down here. Then we'll upgrade the airfield. So let's just load up. What do we need down here most? More than anything, probably supplies. More likely, more than anything, supplies. So let's go ahead and load up Victor with supplies and have it head on down to Guadalcanal. All right, I'm probably going to avoid this area right in here. This is where a lot of the Japanese task forces are coming from. So let's head down this way first and then towards Guadalcanal. And we'll probably, I don't know, we might have Task Force 10 accompany for a little bit. I haven't really showed off Task Force 10. Let's take a look at it. It's a little dark. So remember, I got 4. Well, let's go with the big boy first. Here we go. Battleship North Carolina, ready for action. And we have 4 New Orleans class destroyers. Again, the New Orleans, the Astoria, the Minneapolis, and the San Francisco. And here is the Australian heavy cruiser with depth charges. Not many, but that's all we need for this task force. Just a few ships with depth charges. So we're going to get probably the Canberra, the sister ship for this one, and a few more. So we'll have them head down here a little bit to partly escort Victor on their way down to Guadalcanal. 8:41 now, same day, June 3rd, and we have a bit of a development again near Tarawa. Let me show you what's happening. Scout planes found yet another task force. Says it might have a light carrier. I'm going to see if I can move the Mariner a little closer so we can see what this is. Okay, we have... Let's ignore that. Get a little bit closer, right about there. Go tactical. See what we got. Hopefully it's not a carrier. Oh, we're right over the task force. Turn! I don't see a carrier. What do we have down there? It is a large task force. Another one. Light cruiser. Destroyer, light cruiser. Transports. We get to... Oh, another... Just transport disguised as a hospital ship. Ah, there it is. Yep, it has a float plane carrier, light cruiser, or heavy cruiser, 2 light cruisers. We're going to go after the transports, obviously. Let's retreat and mark this on the map. We'll give it the carrier symbol, even though it's not much of one. Okay, so we're going to deal with this on the next episode. We'll launch aircraft. It's in the morning now, so we have plenty of time. How far away is this task force from Tarawa? About 355 nautical miles. We'll probably allow it to get closer as we track it. We're going to bring all the Mariners down, track this, let it get closer, and then we'll go after it in the next episode. Thanks for watching this one. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.